So, the 4.0 live stream just happened yesterday. Everyone, I'm sure all of you guys have watched it, but if you haven't, it's been really good. I'll make a video on discussing or just going through the very good, just getting straight to the point on what they actually discuss and what they confirm to be coming out on Fontaine. So, to continue the series of should you pull for X characters, if you guys don't know, for this video, we will discuss whether you should pull for Lyney or Yelan. If you guys don't know or you're not aware already, the two phases of the banners have been revealed for 4.0, of which the first half, we're going to have Lyney and Yelan for the first phase, along with our new 4-star character Lynette. Although we are going to be getting Lynette for free as long as you're AR25, so that's for another video. And the second half will be Tartaglia and Zhongli, with Fremine being the rated up 4-star day. I will make a separate video for Zhongli and Tartaglia before, maybe like 1 week before their banners actually drop. So I guess for now, let's just talk about Lyney and see what he has to offer. So from what little information that we have before, well, when Genshin or when Hoyo decides to release the official information about their kit over on Hoyo Lab, based on the footage that we could see, Lyney is like a 5-star pyro bow on-field damage dealer, akin to the likes of Ganyu and Tighnari, where most of their damage mostly comes from their charge attack, and how their normal attacks will be the biggest source of their damage, and they have like 2 levels of charge attack. I would say he's more akin to Tighnari, but unlike Ganyu and Tighnari, Ganyu has a big AoE with her Frostflake arrow, while Tighnari has an auto-aim multi-cluster thing with his charge attack, while I think Lyney only has a singular shot, so I guess he's going to be more of a single target damage base. So from what we can see here, based on what limited information or what limited footage that we have shown on the 4.0 livestream, it does seem like he has some sort of mechanic where, like, upon firing a level 2 charge, it spawns like a little gremlin, a Grimmalkin, or a cat. Let's just call it a cat for now. And the cat is supposedly like, it can taunt enemies, and it will only spawn if you hit an enemy and if you hit them with a level 2 charge attack. And from the footage right here, I'm just gonna put it really slow. It does seem like every time he does a level 2 charge attack, he is doing a, what do you call that? He seems to be doing some sort of HP drain mechanic that might be related to the new artifacts. And as much as I would like to discuss whether the new artifacts are good or not, or what they are, I think we'll have to wait a little bit until the official information is out. And as you can see the footage right here, I was basically like scouring through the Genshin YouTube to see whatever we can find based on what information that we have. So obviously his level 2 charge attack will drain a certain portion of his HP. It might be related to an artifact, or maybe there's some sort of mechanic to it. And as you can see here in the footage, he does have like some sort of like stack mechanic. It seems like every time he fires this level 2 charge, he gains like a stack for it. I don't know how the stack will interact with the kit, but I would like to theorize it probably does something to either the burst or the elemental skill. So the elemental skill for Lyney seems to be pretty straightforward. You just like tap E and then a small area in front of him just explodes. I don't really know what it does. I think it's a very straightforward ability. While his elemental burst, he basically turns into a cat in a hat. I think that's a Dr. Seuss quote, but I'm not really sure myself. But yes, he turns to a cat in the hat. And then after, I believe it detonates all the taunts in the field. And then after you're done in that phase, it goes back to like, it spawns another taunt thing. So from what I can see, it seems like Lyney is a very single target charge heavy pyro bow user. And to be honest, I will try to pull for him, but I think given the amount of characters, like the lineup of Fontaine characters that I will be interested in, particularly the Judge and the Hydro Archon, I won't try to guarantee Lyney. However, if I do win 50-50 for Lyney, I guess that's another video for me to make, and that's another character that I have to build with whatever limited resources that I have. So there's that. So I think right now we don't really know enough to see whether we should pull or not. And we don't really know how it feels to play him until the patch comes out and we try him out in the trial run. But for myself, I'm going to try to maybe pull until the first 5-star. And then maybe depending on what 4-stars we have, because right now I do actually have like 85 pulls from the leftover from that I was going to use to guarantee my Kokomi. So I have the luxury to do that. For you guys, well, I think we'll probably have to wait for the official information to be released over on Hoyo Lab, or just wait for the patch to come out in like the upcoming week or something. So yeah. So I don't have much to talk about Lyney. I think I'll see it when it happens. But now for the second character on the first phase, the one and only, the armpit mommy, the lovable Yelan. So Yelan You know, like, as much as like there was that controversy when she came out where everyone was basically comparing how good she was to Xingqiu, can she replace Xingqiu, how good is she compared to Xingqiu, and then like people gave it some time, like a month or two, and people realized, hey, you know what, why not just run them both together? Like, they literally complement each other in the way they work, and the damage that they do, both Xingqiu and Yelan, is not like a small laughable amount of damage. It's actually quite significant. And if I were to speak from personal experience, she has been great. So let's go over what Yelan really does. Obviously, her normal attacks are pretty straightforward. It is the only part of her kit that actually scales off attack percent, aside from maybe the breakthrough barb, which you gain after being out of combat every 5 seconds, or every time you use her elemental skill on every enemy, you have like a chance to gain it. And that's the only part of her kit in her normal attack that actually scales off HP. Her elemental skill is, once again, very straightforward. It's very similar to Lyney, I think, to that extent. My bad, I mean Lynette, where basically she just dashes forward and any enemies that get caught into it will just receive damage and has a chance to give her a breakthrough bulb, which a breakthrough bulb is basically this big AoE thing, and it is significant enough of a damage source so to not to actually like skip that part of her ability, so that's pretty nice. And on top of that, her elemental skill is really good for traveling because she is particularly fast. While I don't exactly know the distance measurement in the game, from what you can see right now, she does go quite a good distance. So like, imagine every 10 seconds you just have a way to just run really fast from point A to point B. And in her elemental burst, obviously straightforward, very similar to Xingqiu. I would say it does more damage, but I think in the long run it probably is about the same damage as Xingqiu. But in terms of the damage, I think it's pretty good at C0, but well, as that thing changes as Constellations goes up. So for my personal experience, Yelan has been an amazing character. I've heard of a design from way back in 2.4 or something. I don't remember, it's been a long time. And I just heard this concept idea that there's gonna be a 5-star hydro tall female character, and I was just sold on an idea. Like, I didn't even know her name was Yelan. I didn't even know how she looked like or how good she was gonna be. And then, you know, the beta came around, and then 2.6 dropped, and I pre-farmed everything, and next thing you know, I have a triple crown Yelan. And following the Eula incident back in the 3.4 livestream, I currently have Constellation 2 Yelan, and I can tell you, C1 is a great quality of life, especially if you use her a lot in exploration, while Constellation 2, oh man, the Hydro application is the biggest selling point of C2. However, the damage, this extra instance of damage is not a small amount of damage. And from my experience, like, going from C1 to C0 to C2, so, oh my god, the numbers are just everywhere. There's a reason why I feel like out of all characters, I think Yelan for me is like one of the characters that if I was given the chance to just pull only on her banner, I would C6 Yelan, because that's just how great she is, at least from my experience. Once again, fun is subjective to the person, so if you don't like Yelan, that's perfectly fine. However, it isn't so often that you would come around with a second copy of Xingqiu, or rather like a hotter and a more offensive, a less defensive version of Xingqiu. So to be honest, having a copy of Yelan, if you're looking to pull for characters in terms of meta, I think she would be really good. However, at C0, her Hydro application isn't as good as C6 Xingqiu until maybe like Constellation 2, but it's always nice to have more than one option. I mean, I sure would love to have a second Bennett that isn't in the form of Kujo Sara, right? But I guess I don't think Hoyo is dumb enough to actually release Bennett 2.0 or Shangling 2.0. Like, that's not gonna happen. So I think overall, Yelan, there's a lot of things that I think could really sell her. Aside from her value for exploration, her character is kind of more of like this secretish spy kind of character, and I understand that she works in the intelligence network where people don't even know she exists, so it's kind of like okay, I guess. But in terms of the feeling of playing her, I can say she has been really great, and pulling for C2 Yelan, it basically I'm pulling for C2 Yelan out of spite for not seeing Eula in patch 3.5. I did not regret a single pull that I spent. And exploration, well, once again, if you have C1, C0 is great. C1, more energy, and, you know, more further distance. You can get even further because you have 2 charges of your elemental skill. Elemental burst, I don't have enough to say. It looks pretty cool. She looks really beautiful. She looks really nice. I'm just speaking as someone who just adores her in every single aspect. So honestly, if you want to pull for Yelan, you can probably go ahead for that. I think for this phase, between Yelan and Lyney, I would pull for Yelan, and maybe I could get her constellation tree. However, I would like to have more copies of different 5-star characters because I make videos about them, and I would like to see what options. Like I would like to try out different characters, different teams, and see what they're about, right? Because I'm at a point where I can basically build any character I want, given enough time and resources. So I think that does it for the end of the video. I will try to work on more stuff. Like I have the video up of me reacting for the live stream, but because the live stream yesterday was like over 1 hour long, I'm not gonna have a fun time editing that down to like 20 minutes. It's gonna be a pain. But good thing I'm not that good at reacting, so cheers for me. Anyways, if you guys find that useful, I hope you guys find that useful. Give it a like, subscribe for more content. I will be trying to pull out more videos that are mixed between maybe more combat driven videos like me doing the Abyss or me making Abyss guides, to maybe making casual quick guides about characters, or just making videos like these where we just kind of talk about stuff based on whatever new stuff that everyone is interested in the current time for the Genshin Impact community. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, and I wish you the best of luck in whatever decision you make to pull for the characters in 4.0, or at least the 4.x patch. Until then, peace out, and y'all have a good one.